Hi, this is Jake and welcome back to Blind Faith. This week I'd like to talk about trusting God. I feel like there's a lot of times in life that we stop and we go, why God? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why does this happen to me? Why did that happen to that person? And I've started to understand and realize that we're never going to really get an answer on earth. I think God will explain to us all in heaven when we get there. But God also has a reason we have to realize. There is a purpose. There is a reason for everything. It's not just to make us struggle and stuff. And a good example of this is something that happened to me in my personal life. And I'm going to start the story back in 2015 when I was 15. I really wanted a guide dog. My brother had one. Actually, I wanted a guide dog since I was like 13, but there was no schools that would even consider me when I was 13. When I was 15, I really wanted a guide dog. And I went and did cane training when I turned 16 in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Flew out there by myself. I was really nervous for it and stuff. But I was like, okay, this is for getting guide dog next year. I can do it for that. I fly out there, do the cane training, come back home, and then wait a year. And so I was still 16 because my birthday is in August. And this was June next year. And I'd flown out there in August in the last year. This is June of the next year. And I apply to get in there for guide dog training. And it doesn't happen. I got denied. I got too nervous when I was doing the cane training or cane videotaping, and I didn't do as well as I should have. And I was like, come on, I don't know why that happened to me. Why, God? I've worked really hard for this. And then, so I had to wait a year. And then when I'm 17, I apply again, and everything goes good and stuff. And right before I get in, they change their age, so then you had to be 18 to go. And so again, I'm like, why, God, why did this happen to me? I was so close last year, I would have gotten one this year. And then it didn't happen. And now, when I turned 18, I applied again and barely got in. And look at what God gave me. Look at the excellent training stuff that the school did for me and stuff. Raven, here, Raven, come here. Well, she's in bed. She's had a busy day. It's her birthday today. That's why I'm kind of talking about her some. But God assisted and set her up with an excellent puppy raiser and excellent school to go to, and had made me wait a couple years for the perfect dog for me. And I really think Raven's the perfect dog for me. She really is one of the best dogs I've ever met, and that's what I look at. And in this case, that reason was obvious to me after a while, but you even look at that I asked God for years why this happened to me. Why did that have to happen? I would have been so much happier with the guide dog and stuff. But I look at what the patients actually where it got me, and it got me exactly what I wanted. A good dog that listens well and stuff. That's what we have to realize. There's a song by Garth Brooks, Unanswered Prayers. Some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers by Garth Brooks is the quote I'm using. And quite honestly, I wouldn't say that these prayers are unanswered. I think God does answer them. It's just sometimes it takes longer than we want. Like, for example, I asked God, please help me get a guide dog. Well, I did get a guide dog. It's just, it took me on my third try I got one. And That's what we have to realize in life, that God, well, for one, doesn't see time the same way as we see time. Those 2 years, 2.5 years felt like endless waiting. I was so excited to get a guide dog and stuff. I was having dreams about and stuff. I just couldn't wait. And there's also lessons in that too, that I learned a lot more patience. I learned a lot more trust in God and stuff. And we have to look at, because sometimes God uses things like that to teach us lessons, to teach us how to connect better with Him, to build a better relationship with us. And that's completely okay. We have to realize that in today's world especially, we want everything now, right away, just as fast as possible. And ever since I've started doing these YouTube videos, I've learned to kind of almost slow my life down. I still get stressed out around finals time. There's no getting around that, I would say. But when I feel like the stress is too much for me to handle, and I feel like I'm getting just too stressed out, that I'm slowing down my work, that I'm not working as successfully as hard, I actually stop working altogether. I take a 5-minute break and I pray. I ask God to help me get through and stuff. And that's what I have to realize, is that there is a reason for everything. These videos that I'm making definitely had a reason for me, and I hope they have a reason for you too, because they really had a lesson for me in patience. They really had a lesson for me in just bravery. It's actually really tough to talk about your faith and stuff in front of people, and that's what we have to realize, is that we have to learn how to be brave and stuff, and we have to learn the lessons that God wants to learn, because once you start learning those lessons, you start sharing His word more, and once you start sharing His word more, you start converting more and more people to Christianity, and the more people that get converted to Christianity, my belief is every single person we convert to Christianity is one more person that is sitting around the table in heaven. It's one more person that will be there at the supper. And that's what we really have to realize. We have to look at it and go, hey, look it. If I spend this much time every day, every week, every month, every year, trying to help people find God, trying to help people find Christ, if it means just one more person will be at the table, at the supper table at the last day, at death, I think that I count that as a victory for me. If it means one more person is there, it's a victory. And that's what I have to look at, is that God has taught me a lot of lessons and stuff. There's a lot of times I have asked why. There's a lot of times I've not understood. There's stuff that I still understand, like why my grandma died when she was 69, why she didn't live until she was 75, 76, 80, 90, 100, 110. I mean, you look at the world record, it's a lot higher than 69. And that's the thing, that I still understand that why that happened, but I'm sure God had a reason, because God doesn't really He understands everything, but He doesn't see death as truly death, because they're actually coming home to Him. And that's what we have to realize too, is sometimes when we're asking why, it's because it's their time to join God, it's their time to be with God, it's their time to go to heaven. And we really have to realize that just because we don't understand why doesn't mean there's not a reason, because I believe personally that there's always a reason. God always has a reason, and we have to trust in God, and we have to trust that there's that reason. This is Jake for Blind Faith. Thanks for watching. See you all next week. Remember, have faith in God. Know that God knows what's happening.